Hi there and welcome to Leo's Media. Today we will recap the movie The Fall Guy. The Fall Guy was released on the 26th of April, 2024. It is an American action comedy film directed by David Leitch and written by Drew Pearce. It is loosely based on the 1980s TV series about stunt performers. It follows a stuntman, Ryan Gosling, working on his ex-girlfriend's, Emily Blunt, directorial debut action film, only to find himself involved in a conspiracy surrounding the film's lead actor, Aaron Taylor Johnson. The film also features Hannah Waddingham, Teresa, Stephanie Hsu, and Winston Duke. Without further ado, let's get on with the recap. The film opens with stuntman Colt Seavers, played by Ryan Gosling, talking about how important the people in his line of business have been in the history of film and television. Colt takes a lot of hits as a stuntman, but he finds it worth it because he is in love with camera operator Jody Moreno, played by Emily Blunt, who aspires to be a director. In his latest project, Colt is doing stunts for a major Hollywood actor, Tom Ryder, played by Aaron Taylor, whom he had worked with for 6 years. Colt gears himself up to a harness to film a scene where he takes a big fall, but something goes wrong, and Colt hits the ground and severely injures his back. He walks away from the business and from Jody. 18 months later, Colt works as a valet driver and has not spoken to Jody since the incident. He is spotted by a former co-worker who refers to him as the Fall Guy after what happened, so Colt brings his car back aggressively and by doing donuts in front of him. Later, Colt is contacted by Gail Meyer, played by Hannah Waddingham, a producer that frequently works with Ryder. She offers Colt a chance to be Ryder's stunt double on a new sci-fi epic, Metal Storm, but Colt refuses the offer until Gail informs him that Jody is directing the film. Colt then sets off to Sydney, Australia, to meet up with the production. Colt arrives on set and reunites with his friend, stunt coordinator Dan Tucker, played by Winston Duke, who informs Colt that his first major stunt back is a cannon roll, which dismays Colt, because he fears he will screw that up in front of Jody. But when Jody calls Dan to find out why the stunt was being delayed, Colt develops some balls and gets into the stunt vehicle. Colt drives down the stunt vehicle for a few miles, dodging some explosives, and then executes the cannon roll stunt, with Colt's car tumbling across a beach, somersaulting several times to the awe of the crew before coming to rest. The crew rushes to check on him and, before he sticks his thumb out, to let the crew know he is fine, a stuntman habit, as he claims. He is then pulled up to his feet and hugs Dan. Jody is very much pleased with the stunt, but when she sees Colt is the stuntman, she is none too pleased to see him after such a long time away, which contradicts Gail's previous claim to Colt that Jody specifically asked for him. He congratulates Jody for her new gig, but Jody stays upset and requests a replacement. But seeing how difficult replacing Colt on such short notice is, she gives the go-ahead for Colt to continue his role, and he prepares for his next stunt. For his next stunt, he is set on fire and blown against a wall. Colt and Jody then try to dissect the scene while unsightly discussing their relationship in front of the crew, with most people appearing to be on Jody's side. Later that evening, Gail visits Colt in his trailer, to which Colt expresses his anger at her for lying to him that Jody wanted him as a stunt double, but Gail tells him that everyone deserved a second chance. Gail also informs Colt that Ryder has gone missing after he has gotten into bed with some shady people, and she is tasking Colt with finding him to save Jody's film production within the next 48 hours. Colt then goes to his car and reminisces about his time with Jody while listening to Taylor Swift and crying before Jody shows up, and he has to play it cool. She gets in the car with him and talks about how important the film is for her, and he promises not to derail the production for her and drops her off at her vehicle. Colt then heads to Ryder's apartment to try and find him.